a little bit of context as well of how we started. I also started my career, like many of the folks in this room, in journalism, working at the BBC as an investigative journalist. And way back in 2020 and 2021, we were already looking at detecting disinformation networks and AI images on social media networks like Facebook and Twitter. And it was really fascinating work as well too, looking into image generation, minute details and algorithms to identify them, and really got me interested in detection. So I went back and did research at the Princeton NLP lab and Microsoft AI, which started GPTZero. And we are currently a venture-backed startup that's raised $15 million from a mix of traditional Silicon Valley, tech folks, and also journalists. So the photo in the top corner is the team kind of day one with a former Director General of the BBC and CEO of New York Times, Mark. So really early on, we just wanted to work with a lot of journalists. So what have we done? We, majority started with doing AI detection and also writing improvement and launched, paper, more updates to new models, then an update to, new models, and then another update and, interpretability, understanding the AI detection results. This is interesting too. We also do multilingual now, and Spanish is, our top language throughout, and then more updates, and we've even talked to folks like the OpenAI folks that went on doing AI detection and watermarking research, and we even continuously updated to not just AI detection, but detecting typing patterns. This was recently of an algorithm we launched on Google Docs that analyzes typing patterns that went viral a little bit too. And there's so much constant update and update and update, and you might ask, why? Why keep on doing this as well too? In a world where journalists and writers are going to learn to use AI as well and learn to use AI in their work, why continue to do this? And I think the answer I want to show you is three things today. You're going to hear amazing things across this event, the conference, about how journalists can learn to use AI in their lives. But I wanted to flip it around and talk more about why AI tools still need to improve and what are the gaps and how can we bridge those gaps. So to start, the first part is about education as well, and you're going to hear from way better folks about educating and learning about AI. But my take is it doesn't take a master's degree or years to learn about AI use. It's just the principles are just don't be stupid with AI use. And what I mean by that are two things. One is just don't generate everything entirely yourself without checking it after or editing it in your own way. And the example I'm going to give here is around a year ago, we did an investigation where we partnered with the New York Times about books on Amazon that were entirely AI generated. And you could find these travel guides to Buenos Aires or Canada or elsewhere in the world, and people would buy them, and until they got there, they did realize all of it was, fake and AI as well too. And then, based on this New York Times investigation, we scraped the data, analyzed it, shared it, and actually got Amazon to take a lot of those books out. So, don't, write entirely with AI, and we've looked a lot at kind of the proliferation of AI on the internet as well too, with editors at Wikipedia. Now actually GPTZero is a tool. We partnered with the Wikipedia editors, so a lot of folks you talk to have, kind of on the Wikipedia side used us, and also on other platforms like Substacks and blogs and the internet. The second thing of kind of learning to use AI and just the basics of not being stupid with it is just fact check your work. Around a couple months ago, some journalists reached out to GPTZero about breaking news on, this is in the US, a Make America Healthy Again report being AI generated. And we ran the entire report through our systems, looked for kind of more fact-checking analysis as well, and returned to them the most comprehensive list of hallucinations that directly went into the reporting about this Make America Healthy Again report, which we like to call Make America Hallucinate Again. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the gap of why AI tools here improve. Because honestly, if these tools are not at the right place for journalists and in media and folks to use, if they're shitty tools, then they're not worth learning. So the first thing I'm going to talk about as an example is tools of retrieval augmented generation, of pulling sources and things from the internet and facts to help fill the gap of AI hallucinating results. And I would say that some of the most famous tools in this space are Perplexity or other companies that are doing this, and a lot of people thought this would solve the problem of hallucinations because now AI has access to the internet and pulls facts. We actually did this investigation with Forbes and a team at Forbes at looking at Perplexity's retrievals and found that after every 4 or 5 citations, one of the sources themselves would be AI generated. So this is kind of really fascinating too, because it goes to say that giving internet access to AI is not the solution that people thought it would. Because if you're citing things that are spam, that are hallucinating, that are false, then it will continue to go into the source itself, and there's secondhand hallucinations. So this is another way of why AI tools need to improve in the space. And there's a lot of research here going into detecting hallucinations on the source generation rather than AI outputs. And we've also been really working in terms of the kind of factuality checking there. And then the most important thing as a team, and over the last 2.5 years of working in AI detection, that we realized is around a couple months ago, our team sat down and saw this paper from MIT about AI use not only degrading the quality of outputs, but also the potential critical thinking and health of folks' thinking. And it's saying that you might lower your cognitive health if you keep on using AI thoughtlessly. And that really just shocked our team, because we were saying, wow, it's not just about the quality of outputs, it's about how to use it. And we wanted to shift our focus into helping folks write better with AI. And I'll give you an example of what this means. The anecdote is around a year ago, and also next week, I'm visiting my own journalism professor at Princeton. This was a New Yorker writer, John McPhee, and a Pulitzer winner. And when I last visited him a year ago, we tried a lot of AI tools of what AI could do. Could it write in your style? It could try, it's not too ideal. Could it rewrite? Could it write longer, shorter as well too? And there was a lot of things it could. But then I remember John sitting there and just asking me a question too. Can I tell you this line is so good, it's the best thing ever seen today, and just keep it, don't change a single word. And to this day, I still don't know an AI tool that does that. He said, aha, that's the job of a good editor. And what I've realized since the last year of this motivation of giving a better way to use AI in the writing process is that it's about putting humans in the driver's seat of customizing as well too, and thinking more critically, and doing the editing process, because so much of writing is this repeatedly editing process, and not just writing, so much thinking is it. And without learning to do that, we stop learning to think. And it's a bifurcated world of people that write and don't write, but also people that think and don't think, and definitely we know which one and which side we want to be there. So the example of what we're trying to experiment with at GPTZero, and this one is launched through the Chrome extension I showed earlier with all the writing replays, is more tools that will promote you to be in the driver's seats of writing. Already in AI coding, there's many tools that do this. For example, you have vibe coding tools that will build an entire platform. But then you also have more customized cursor-esque coding tools that will be there with you on the line by line. But there's nothing like that in writing yet, and that's why AI tools need to improve there. And we've also done a lot of experiment with AI algorithms, and so far, AI text generation is really, really good at giving you the entire draft, but really, really bad at seeing 90% of the draft and putting a paragraph in the middle or this granular editing. And that's where a lot of the best improvements need to be. So this was a process where we had a lot of focus on helping you brainstorm, build out an outline, and having a coach that will be more granular as you write instead of giving you the entire generation. And the goal of all this is to have and build more tools where you are in the driver's seat of AI use, because without it, you fall for the fallacies of generating it entirely yourself. And not only will the quality be worse as well too, but you're no longer thinking critically into best output. So the last thing I wanted to leave the folks with today is this idea of AI being an existential threat to itself. Even today, we have a lot of customers at GPTZero that are not just human writers and journalists and media, but are the AI companies themselves, and being data labelers and filtering out the data they train. Previous to this year, a lot of the AI companies can train on data 2022 and earlier because it's filled in the internet. But that's running out. So now they're working with data labeling firms across Philippines or Mechanical Turk on Amazon to label the data, but the data writers providing it realize a lot of them are using ChatGPT itself. And now there's papers and analysis that if you train on ChatGPT, it lowers the quality of the models. And so that's why even these AI companies themselves are using AI detection and filters. And what this is really showing is that in a world that is filled with all the AI talk and buzz around, human writing and quality matters. And it not only matters for how we think and we build the future of how we're using AI, but matters for AI itself depending on it. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure being part of Media Party. Hope to see everyone soon.